Devan returns to Atropos's cave to find her inducting a new apprentice. Not wanting to disturb the ceremony, Devan takes a few healing potions and leaves, spending the next few days resting and studying. When he is ready to return to the lair of the Cyclops, he collects Kronos, taking him along so he can get vengeance for his slain family. When they arrive, they find a fully functional Cyclops instead of the half-wounded wretch Devan was expecting. But it is too late to back down, and so combat is joined. With Kronos' help, Devan manages to slay Gertrude the Kingslayer. With all current threats dealt with, Devan researches the ghost town and decides it is best left alone. And so Devan enjoys the prosperous and peaceful time period he has created for his people through his great deeds. Will Nekrot become a centre of civilization? Will Devan enjoy wedded bliss? Will the peace last? Let's find out now on Dicing with Death.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dicing with Death. Koibu will be your DM for the evening. This is Ryan. He'll be the player for the afternoon.
You're experimenting with these new intros, aren't you?
I gotta try it because my current one sucks. You know, I've been using it since the roleplay days because I kind of stole it from JP and I hate it.
Hey guys, how you doing? How y'all doing? You need a catchphrase. No, but we'll keep trying intros. We've got maybe 3 more chances today.
All right. So, how's it going? You ready for some dicing and some death?
I suppose, now that we've got all the politics out of our systems.
I wish I had all.
Don't worry, Neal. You got another month and a half of this.
Then let me sleep.
Oh, you can't sleep for 4 years. You got to keep that musket polished.
Just as the founders intended. I do believe that where last we left, we were going to time skip ahead and kind of explore the future of Devan.
How would you like to handle this?
We had gotten to December. Actually, we ended on December 31st, actually. Somehow.
Happy New Year.
Is through this calendar and just...
Really? I guess there was like a long boat journey and then...
resting and spell learning.
Chat saying your mic isn't great. It actually isn't fine for me. He was very quiet, and then I turned him up, and you seem fine now.
How about now? This should be much better.
It's way louder.
Yeah. That gain setting on the mic.
Then do you have some like audio filters? A noise gate?
I do. For chat, it should already be there for you.
They're saying that's the problem. I think the noise gate is like cutting out your audio. I think we're fine. You know, it would be better than a cool intro is just having our sound check done before we go live.
Yeah, but
right? I don't care if you just show up and be like, "Arky barky, y'all! Welcome to another episode of D and Dizzle," and then you just play D&D from there on out. No audio interruptions.
But if we don't have any audio problems, then they're going to hold us to actual standards. And then what's going to happen when we want to cancel the show 5 minutes before it's supposed to start? You know? We should let them understand the true indie nature of this broadcast so that their expectations never get above, well, it might happen, but they're probably going to spend half an hour talking about nothing. I don't know. That's just my. Those are my thoughts.
Fair enough.
You're the real expert.
I feel like
here.
the trouble with having a real. I'm the expert of. Well, not this. I feel like the trouble with having a really polished professional introduction is they expect it to like stay from there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then if you suddenly spend the next 10 minutes troubleshooting sound issues, starting the episode off with, "Welcome to the land of Arcadia. I'm Koibu, your master of dungeons. And these here are your lovely players, Ryan, and Ryan." And then you set the bar really high, and suddenly 10 minutes of how's that sound? Can you hear me now? Kills the mood.
All right. We'll do it next time. We'll do it perfectly next time with no errors or interruptions whatsoever. You can take Ryan's word on that.
201st time's charm.
This calendar is Dexing with Death Divan. And now I need a new calendar.
So what's happening, Mr. DM?
This one.
That's a cool calendar.
People on it. Yeah, look at that.
Ooh, are those Arakoa?
They're Native Americans. Ryan, look at that.
What?
It's the National Museum of the American
They're not Native
Indian.
Americans. American Indian is the preferred term.
It is, yes.
It says so on the museum, so.
American Indian. True.
Yeah, I was a little taken aback by that when I went to the American Indian Museum in DC. And I was like, really? They're calling it Indian? I think the rationale is they're like, if you're going to come and put your stupid white people names on us, at least just own up to it and make it 100% stupid. We don't want your half-ass PC stupid. If you're going to
400 years later, you're starting to feel awkward about this weird name you gave us, and you're trying to change it. Fuck you, the whole Bureau of Indian Affairs.
You said Indian, and you're going to stick with it.
Yeah, CGP Grey has a good video on this topic. If you guys are into CGP Grey, yeah.
I'm not into CGP Grey, but he does do some good stuff.
Yeah, he's talking about how Native American is like wild. It's like over inclusive. It encompasses North and South America and like every possible person, and like that's not very useful when you're trying to just talk about the Arapaho or something. So American Indian preferred term. Anywho, we're just delaying because we don't know what we're going to do today, and so we're finding other things to talk about. How's your coffee?
Well, I'm going to invent greater meme spray. The spell.
Oh, that's what we can do. We can do spell research during our time skip. Let's hop into Roll20 DM. And
you're not even here. I've got a spectator, so someone's watching me.
Don't worry. That's just the camera to make sure that there aren't any rats in your toilet. Don't worry about it.
Ooh, I'm an invoker now.
How did you begin to invoke?
I don't know. I guess as soon as I started memeing.
Okay, here we go. Let's do some spell research. Somewhere during many months of downtime, don't worry about where this fits into the greater timeline, just after last year's events, before we pick it up again.
Are we just going to jump around and do random things? We could also... I don't know what we could also do. Like, do you want to do some narration on what's going on, or are we just going to do some spells and
I think we'll definitely do some narration and some spells. So to start, why don't we just at least talk about the spells that you want?
Well, the thing that's prevented me from research thus far is not having a proper laboratory. But I'm assuming sometime in this time skip, Heifer will get up and running. There will be like a forge next to Devon's soon-to-be tower.
Yes. I think the beginning downtime is spent doing exactly what you're mentioning here, is that there's lots of...
He's having a freaking heart attack over his jumping around in the timeline. Stop being so chill, Neal.
Stress is good for you, McTacky. That's why Americans are so healthy right now.
What? It's actually a it's a statistical anomaly or whatever, a blind spot. We're not actually healthy. We just can't afford the tests to show how unhealthy we are. Half of us don't have insurance, and so we don't actually go to the doctors for them to find out how.
It's too real, Ryan.
I heard some comedian I was listening to the other day was on the subject of potential civil war. Was like, America can't have a civil war. We're too fat for that. Can you imagine the average American engaging in combat? I mean, it's kind of funny to think about, but.
Well, yeah, but that's assuming we're going to line up with muskets and march on each other, which is not what a civil war would look like in this era.
It will look like us lining up on Twitter and firing shots back and forth as we have been for years.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like military on military. It'd be paramilitary group versus paramilitary group, right? It'd be... I don't know what it would be. Let's not go down this rabbit hole. My hair is already turning gray.
Really?
No, actually it's not. But Lauren's is because she's married to me.
That too.
Yeah. It's only like actually, 5 or 6 scattered around.
Zoom does a good job of like covering up my blemishes and
Oh, did you turn on there's a feature that you can like enable like
No, I just have really crappy internet, so I'm extra blurry. No, I do have touch up my appearance.
Oh, there's a slider on it now, so you can touch it up more or less.
Really? I don't. Is there an advanced options or something?
I don't know. I just opened it up for the first right now. Yeah, look at this. Now I look pretty baby-faced. Then if I slide it the other way, you can see...
Oh, God. The hairs are like sprouting before our eyes.
Mm-hmm. Wow. We live in the future. Cool. So you want to meme spray some shit, and you're going to need like a library and some facilities, so you can have your people build yourself a forge, and you can revisit Seltzer's grotto, you can revisit the Sea Witch's cave to gather up any other supplies that you might need.
I don't think there are any books there. I think I pretty much rated them. I mean, I can certainly go visit.
Yeah, you can go back to the Medusa's lair, see if there's anything there that might be interesting as you build your library, gather, you know, check out the other nearby villages, ask the Romulans for supplies.
There seems to be a distinct lack of literature in this world. So I do have, so last time we mentioned, I've got this infinite scroll, which I guess doesn't have that many spells on it. Like it's not actually, it could be infinite.
Right, it wasn't filled.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be filled, but yeah.
So I've got that, and I've got, is it Adia's tablets?
Mm-hmm. I think you can, if you want, you can transcribe Adia's tablets onto your infinite scroll, so you've got like one huge source of things. You don't have to.
Whoa.
I'm just like shouting out ideas. Here we go. Proposing a spell. Special ingredients. Components. All right. So you want to make spray and pray, right?
I want to make Arcane Blast, and it will basically be a AoE Arcane Spray.
Love it.
I think we'll take Arcane Spray and just make it target every creature within 30 feet instead of one creature within 30 feet.
Okay.
So I'm thinking to basically just take the exact same spell, but I think it will still be one roll, and then every creature in the area saves versus that roll.
And then everyone takes this damage off of the save?
No, everyone would take... So I think there would be you'd set a DC when you cast the spell, basically. So the caster does their roll, and
then
everyone has to save versus that same DC.
Okay, so are we talking a cone of spraying?
The current version is a cone that just doesn't actually function as such. I was thinking it'd be like a blast, like a 30-foot blast centered on the caster. Or it could be hurled and be a blast like that. I think in the spirit of the spell, having it centered at the caster and going from there seems like the way to go.
30 feet in all directions?
Yes. So... Evocation. Range 30 feet. AoE 30-foot sphere. Duration instantaneous. The casting time to 3.
This is going to be a 3rd level spell, you say?
I think so. It seems like quite a power jump from single target to every target, but it's kind of a shitty spell to begin with.
Yeah, and that definitely means you can't use it when there are friendlies nearby, so it does change.
That's true.
Like, it'll change the scope a lot. It's a 30-foot radius. Fireball's only a 20-foot radius, but you can't cast it near allies. And then it'll do variable damage. Yeah, okay. Save is special.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are you...
damage is special.
I've got a version here as well, but...
Perfect. Wonderful. Does it have any material components when you turn it into a blast?
I don't think so. Does the original Arcane Spray have one? I think I kind of like... That is one advantage of the spell, is that there's no material components.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. You can, even if it sucks as far as damage spell goes. And I guess if you compare it to Fireball, it's not going to be that OP.
Right?
Right? Fireball that has a huge AoE, right? Fireball's
20-foot radius. This is a 30-foot radius. This is a much bigger radius right now.
But it's centered at the caster.
Yeah.
Bringing forth a blast of golden magic energy. Sure.
You can just say golden showers. We'll understand.
Each creature in the, let's see, within 30 feet, caster, it's a saving throw. X suggested. Fail, they take an amount of damage equal to the difference between their failed save and what they needed to succeed. Indicating, there's not exactly a number of missiles or anything like that.
Right.
What's that?
Just the cat's being crazy, and I'm muttering to myself about
Character is wielding a shield and facing the caster. I didn't realize that you have to loudly call the magic words. This feels like Dragon Ball Z or Street Fighter or something. I need to shout Shuriken every time I cast a meme spray from now on.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to add flavor to my spells.
Yeah.
It's also nice when you're like, well, can I do this in secret? And the spell clearly states that you're the volume that you need to do things. And add details. But as you please, Arcane Blast doesn't have to be loud if you don't want it to be. That makes sense too.
Arcane Spray doesn't mention how the caster... Arcane Spray doesn't mention how the caster sets the saving throw.
It's in the example.
Okay.
That explains it.
Casts Arcane Blast.
Mm-hmm. And you can become Danny DeVito now. You can walk in and just start blasting everyone's desire in life.
How does that look? There's a test.
How's it look? Oh, so nice. Okay, you just kept the exact same.
Yeah, I took the
example.
arcane spray and updated it.
Nice.
What do we think? Any modifications or suggestions?
Nope. I am down. And I will add it to the list.
Yeah.
And then we will refresh the list to see if it worked. Arcane Blast. Ah, it works, except I mislabeled it as Arcane Spray, which is incorrect.
Arcane Spray is not Abjuration, it is Evocation. Does it... Ooh, that's cool. It changes the color in here based on the school.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Is that on the character sheet or is that somewhere else?
What do you mean? Is what on the character sheet? The coloring?
Is that coded into the character sheet? Or
Yeah, the character sheet contains the code for the output of the spells as well.
Maybe a 4th level version will be like an arcane bomb or something, and you throw the arcane blast. Cool.
Arcane howitzer. Arcane artillery. There we go. That's it.
That's like maybe that's a 5th level version where you channel it, and each round you get to throw an arcane bomb.
You just like sit on top of a ballista bolt, and then like as it fires, you arcane blast just in a pattern.
Yeah. The range should probably actually be 0, right?
Yeah, I said range self AoE 30 feet on the
go.
Regal Goblins version.
And do I technically need to make a spell learn chance in order to research the spell? Is that how it works?
All right, so we wrote the spell, approval and modification.
Ooh.
It just says ask McTacky. I'm assuming that's fine.
Wait, what do we need to ask McTacky?
I was just making a joke.
Oh.
Blah, blah, blah. Basic time of research is 2 weeks per spell level. Money is also an issue, except for you in this situation. We're going to skip the money
doesn't
cost.
exist. That's the advantage to living in a pre-economic world, or would you call it, in a pre-capitalist society.
Mm-hmm. All right. If the character meets all the expenses and puts in his time with the books, he may attempt to succeed. A success roll after the minimum research time, 2 weeks per spell level, has passed. The chance of success is 10%, and it's modified by the researcher's intelligence score, experience level, less twice the level of the spell being researched. So 10% plus 1 point per int, plus 1 point per experience level, minus 2 times spell level. For example, the 7th level wizard has an intelligence of 17. Building a 3rd level spell has 10% plus 17% plus 7% minus 6% for a total of 28%. If the character does not succeed on his first attempt, unless he's very high level, he probably won't, he may need to continue his research. At the end of each additional week, he may attempt a roll with a plus 10 cumulative bonus. However, if the character ever rolls a result of 99 or 100 on his success check, the DM may rule that the spell proves unworkable and must be abandoned. Note that the success check replaces blah, 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 blah. Cool.
Okay.
So spend 7 years and you can do it.
Do you decide how long you'll take at the beginning? Is that how it works? Or is it just you roll at the beginning and you roll every week thereafter?
I think you can decide how long you want to take. Or you can roll and then research more and roll and research more and roll and research more.
It seems like the way to do it, except for the 99-100 thing. But
yeah.
I'll take my chances. So my base chance, does it start at 10? Is that what you said?
Starts at 10 plus your int, which is
16. So it's 10 plus 16 plus level is
wizard
6.
level.
Minus the spell level, which is they're twice the spell level,
which is
also
3.
6.
So 6.
So my base chance is 26, and then I get 10% per additional week. Default
so
is 6 weeks.
Yes. How much time would you like to put into this?
I think let's just roll the 26 and then keep rolling every week thereafter, right? And just hope I don't roll on 99 or 100.
Yeah, and if you roll 99 or 100, maybe we'll like make it a side quest to like, you need the blah blah blah, so the such and such.
Fail. If I had spent a week, I would have gotten it. All right, so that was 6 weeks. So this will be after 7 weeks, upping it to 36.
Oh. 8 weeks. 9 weeks.
Holy crap.
Off by 1. 10 weeks.
All right, 10 weeks. 10 weeks of blasting. This is just like Devon out in the hills, just like training with his Hadouken.
And it took him a while to realize he had to shout it while he did it, right? You gotta go like
I think I forgot to roll new MP when I leveled up. Yeah,
45.
I rolled
like what you have.
I rolled HP, but I haven't rolled MP.
Well, sir.
So let's take care of that.
That's a D13, I believe.
49. I'm probably back up to full. Less an armor spell. Cool. I like chat suggestion for an arcane apocalypse. This will be like maybe like a 7th level version where just like everyone within
just rains arcane sprays from the clouds.
Right, everyone on the continent has to make a saving throw or suffer up to 20 damage.
It's pretty bad.
Maybe not quite the continent, but just like we got Arcane Storm. I'm just gonna roll with these memes. I really like the mechanic, even if the spell turns out to suck. I really like the make opposed spell saves to.
Well! Look who's finally come around to my way of thinking after making fun of me for 6 months.
From the beginning, wasn't it?
All I heard was your spell sucks. I tuned out all the positive feedback and just like thrived on like the few negative comments that there were. That's why my mental health has fallen apart. Thank God my wife's a therapist. It'll be fine.
Isn't there like some moral?
Oh yeah, you can't treat family members. Yeah, and there's no way that would fly.
You can only drive them insane. You can't cure them.
Correct.
Whoa.
Okay. So you have learned Arcane Spray in about 10 weeks of research.
So that will be January, February. So it's getting... So the wedding is supposedly...
Didn't you guys say you want a spring wedding? Summer wedding?
We were going to line it up with the Dorboff in Guam.
Right.
And I think I get experience for learning a spell, although...
Yeah, you fucking do. For researching a spell?
Is it just 100 per spell level?
No, I think maybe. One of these days, Ryan, I'll have my bookshelf in the right spot, and it'll be easier.
You'll actually be able to reach it.
After we move into a new house.
Are you guys moving?
In like 11 months. But I'm counting the days, man. I'm counting the days.
Oh, I see what we did. We bumped up. So our experience is actually kind of wonky. Because I was like 400 XP short. Well, I guess 1,000 between the two classes. of hitting level 6, but we just decided to level up because we would be time skipping.
Spell successfully researched, 500 per spell level.
Oh, really? Well, that would have gotten my wizard up to level.
Yeah.
And then maybe the training montage in the... I should just research more spells, dang.
Yeah. That's really nice.
I think the training montage might also up my fighter level as well, because the Hadoukens also include spear twirling and martial arts fighting.
Nice. Very nice.
Very nice. So,
So you have made a spell. You are not getting married until Dorwaf Guam Mathis Safi's is at the peak, which is going to be August 7th.
Oh, okay.
So you have so many months of being single, but we're going to training montage them, and they're going to blow by, and then your wedding day is going to be on you. It's too fast. It's just going to be here too soon.
What other spells did I even want to make?
Yeah, what things do you need?
Now that I have a craftsman, I would like to put a watchful ward.
Ah, yes.
So that can be one of, I have the gems, but I need Heifer to make 2 carved faces worth 100 GP.
He can do that. You want them made out of metal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you only do 2, or can I make...
No, each spell needs a mask. So if you want to have a whole bunch of wards, you'll need like a room with masks and labels where each one goes, and like press your face into this one, you go and press your face into that one.
There may be a higher level version of this that just has one master mask that can look through all of the linked masks.
Like greater watchful ward or improved watchful ward or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably would be at least 4th level.
I guess they can be moved, right? It won't need to be permanent. Like I can put the masks wherever. I can like hang it in my house or move it outside or...
Yes.
Okay, 400 GP gems. All right, I'll go ahead and delete those finally.
Okay.
Pouches. Oh, when I level up, there will be some more identification to do.
Okay. What would you like to identify?
I have a bunch of potions. I think that's it.
Do you have the identify potion spell?
I do not. I don't have enough first
no
level
slots.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I make these 2 watchful wards. So can we get a description of what's going on with Heifer and how his/my workshop looks?
Yes. So Heifer, the great blacksmith, has brought over his tools and is able to construct a forge and a workshop. No.
I think he just brought over maybe he brought a little toolbox, but it was mostly his anvil.
Yes, it was the great anvil, but then like, some hammers, some wrenches, some pliers, some yada yadas. He's got himself a nice mud brick building that he can work out of. There's some issue with supply with his forge. Coal is needed to run it, coal or coke, and that's a little bit in short supply, but there's that nearby forest where you can have charcoal makers. And you're pretty well known in this hilly area. You're known for, slaying the Medusa, fighting off giants. The people of this area are generally pretty grateful to you, and it's easy to set up some sort of supply train.
Coal is not, you don't usually make it from a tree.
You would make charcoal from a tree. And I don't know if you're going to use charcoal or if you'd use straight up coal for a forge. But charcoal is definitely available for use here.
I guess you can use wood. I think you would typically mine coal. It would be an ancient forest that had been buried and...
Yeah.
Yeah, so typically it's millions of years old, buried under the ground.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there are other options as well. I can't imagine every forge across the world has.
You can do a wood burning one, but coal is higher density.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyways, I think mining charcoal in the hills is probably more feasible than going to the forest and manufacturing it.
Okay.
But
you guys want to set up? Yeah, you can.
We've got all these refugees coming in, don't we, from the surrounding villages? I don't know if refugees is the word. Migrants?
Migrants. People who have heard the good word of Necrot, believed it, and have arrived. And
now they're working in our coal mine. But they're getting paid handsomely, and soon there will be wine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you. You can tell me if there's charcoal in the hills, or if we start a.
It's gonna roll for it.
Operation on the outskirts.
It looks like there is no coal in the hills. You'll have to bring in lumber or charcoal.
Okay, then I guess we set up a logging camp. One of these hexes.
Mm-hmm. And one of the nearby villages.
And this may wind up being our first... Actually, no, these are all about the same. I guess Grecos was right here?
Right there. It's Grecos.
Oh, okay. So that seems like a good spot to do it. And this may wind up being the first road.
Ooh.
Not intentionally necessarily, but as we set up a logging camp outside of Grecos and begin trekking wood to Necrot, those wagon ruts will eventually wear the first road through these hills.
Yes. Yes, it will. I'm going to do... It's fine. I wanted to find a way to just show a little bit more of the map permanently, since this is an area you are very familiar with now.
And I am a cartographer.
Yeah.
Oh. I like McTacky's map in your Arcadia style. Have you seen him working on that? He's doing yeah.
This doesn't seem to be working though. What if I bring us away and back? Nope. Still get the same light radius.
Wait, didn't... Oh, yeah.
Ah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Sweet. What's at the Oasis? I've definitely stopped over there in my travels south.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything there worth
The Oasis will occasionally have passersby, travelers through. But the creek that leads from Necrot has swollen its banks, and the water flow around Necrot is a little bit better than it used to be, thanks to Platos, your demigod, your minor god, your little spirit. So the Oasis has become less of a fixture. Yet it is still a marker for the ancient peoples who have been trading along the same route for hundreds of years here. So if you hang by the Oasis, occasionally you'll meet the long-distance traveler who's moving from one end of this range to another. And, you know, it's an oasis. People have been coming here for a long time. There might be things buried in the sands around it, or maybe even the bottom of the water itself. Let's see. 9 and 17. So you will, over this time, also learn that there are 17 giants still living in these hills. I'm just going to mark their locations and their numbers for you.
Whoa.
And we can also mark the grotto.
Are they all hill giants?
They are all hill giants. Yes.
Okay. I would like, when I hit level, what would you call it? Level 6, I will reattempt to learn Minor Gateway.
Ooh, love it.
So that will be, I think, a 70% chance to learn spells. Yep, 70% chance. So RD100, less than 70. Success.
Perfect.
This was meant to be my fireball. I think Minor Gateway, Conjuring Summoning. Yep.
Okay. And now, with Minor Gateway, which is a fireball spell, but it also allows you to probe the 4 elemental planes, you have a temporary or a minor method of interdimensional travel. You know, if you open it to the plane of air, there's a great gust of wind, so you can't really crawl back into it. But if you need to capture materials from any of these planes, you can now directly access them.
I like that it's like fixed in power. That's kind of why I wanted it. Like at low levels, it's better than a fireball. It just does a flat 8d6 damage.
Yep.
Slightly smaller AoE. And I think my first cast, I wanted to do the plane of Earth, and see if I can use this to terraform. I don't think it will work, but
what did you mean by terraform?
Basically conjure up mountains from the elemental plane of Earth. So I'll go out into my backyard. I think I've imagined that the Quanot and my little hut are on the northeastish edge of town, right? There's nothing beyond it except for like the vineyard is up and over the hill.
Yep.
So I don't want to destroy my house with this, but I will like go out in the hills behind my house and practice to kind of test out the spell, opening a portal to the elemental plane of Earth, either drawing the portal straight on the ground, or does it have to be horizontal? So it says caster draws in the air a portal or doorway, which then briefly opens. So does it have to be this way, or can it be drawn on the ground and burst up?
Suppose you can do it in any direction. Yeah. But if you do it below you, so it'll open away from you. So if you draw it on the ground, it'll open down. You might want to draw it above. or it opens away from you.
Okay.
So yeah, you can find a way to draw it how you need, I'm sure.
There's no way to draw it up, but like
you could like lay on the ground like a mechanic
and draw it right above me. But then I I guess I'll start doing it horizontally, like into the side of a hill, into the hillside behind my house. That'll be the first casting, because I want to see what happens. Like if it's like a foot off the ground, does the wall of earth hover there? So I guess maybe describe what happens. I go out maybe 20-30 feet away from my house. Like from my house towards the vineyard. I also avoid the vineyard so that I don't destroy anything there.
Yeah, and you cast minor
with a paintbrush or whatever, I paint out a small window into the plane of earth.
And when you finish casting the spell, the portal opens, and there is the plane of earth, solid before you. It doesn't move, it doesn't flow out of the portal. It just opens to, if you poke your head around the other side for the brief moment that it's open, you will see like rock, but you'll also see this like crystalline silicate running through it, and then like a vein of gold ore running in the other direction before the portal ends.
Only for a second or two, huh?
Yeah.
Instant. Interesting. I have an idea for a spell. But I would like, so it's not, so the wall, the portal doesn't, I read that it creates a short-lived wall, but the wall it's two-dimensional, right? It's infinitely flat. Well, kind of. I mean, it's
on the other side of the portal
or something. So it's not like it will force. I can't use it to move Earth, right? It's just
right. It won't force Earth out, but it would bring out water, fire, or air. Earth just happens to have really high surface tension.
Yeah, I was imagining like pulling out chunks of the elemental plane of Earth into this area.
Well, can you find a way to slow it down so the spell effect lasts?
So that was the
longer?
idea for the spell that I was thinking of, that I was imagining, is a maybe something that may be called like channel or something, which is a spell that you would cast to extend the duration of another spell. So like,
I think there's already a spell for this. Yeah, Extension 1.
Oh, really?
By use of Extension 1 spell, the wizard prolongs the duration of a previously cast first, second, or third level spell by 50%. Thus, a levitation spell may be made to function for 15 minutes per level, a hold person for 3 rounds per level.
That's a fourth level spell.
Yeah, naturally, the spell affects only spells that have durations. The spell must be cast immediately after the spell to be extended, either by the original caster or another wizard.
Okay, well, that kind of nixes that idea. One, because it's a higher level spell. And two,
the duration is...
it's doubled, so it'll go from 1 to 2 seconds to 2 to 4 seconds.
Yeah. Not particularly useful, especially since by the time you cast Extension, the other spell would already have ended.
Yeah.
So what else could you do? Can you create like a zone of time dilation? Like a...
As a third level spell?
Well, Withdraw kind of allows you, that's a first level spell for priests that slows time and allows you to take multiple actions. Can you create a similar type of, I'm in a bit of a time bubble and I can't really interact with anything on the outside of it, but things in here? Well, no, because that's not what we need to do. You would need to be able to put a time bubble on the gateway. You would want time to slow for one object.
Or does it need to slow, or can it just like hold portal even?
What if you hold portal the portal?
Right.
This sounds like some cooperative magic.
Bars a door, gate. It sounds like some what?
Some cooperative magic.
The spell magically bars a door, gate, valve. Although hold portal is meant to hold a door, I kind of like the literary interpretation of some spells.
Mm-hmm. I think hold portal to hold open a portal is a very reasonable use of a low-level spell for high-level purposes.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do not have hold portal, nor do I have the spell slots.
It sounds to me, Ryan, Devon, like you need an apprentice or a collaborator.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you want a collaborator. I think you want a lackey.
Yeah.
You need a grad student. Where are you going to find a grad student? I mean, Atropos sort of replaced you with a new person, but you couldn't go stealing her.
I sent that person to Atropos, but I kind of forgot that. Hold portal is in Adia's tablets.
Well, why don't we take our first break while we muse on these things, and we'll come back in a few minutes with some more Dicing with Death.
All right. See you on the other side.
See you on the other side.